22nd of December, Rabbi Levitt, Daniel.
Oh, and what I wanted to say is that I noticed that on the cover page, the introductory page, in it says over here the first couple lines. It says when King Nebuchadnezzar he planned to enrich his own court while impoverishing Judah and assuring that it would have no rebirth. So he had a double agenda in picking from the Zerah Hamalucha, in choosing from these children who were from the king's from the royal family. So they were picked, and the most promising young men of Yerushalayim, and they were carted off to Bavel to serve in Nebuchadnezzar's court, and to make Bavel the beneficiary of their brilliance, and correspondingly to the detriment of the Jewish people, who were deprived of these great leaders. That was the future great leaders. That was the plan of Nebuchadnezzar.
Wow.
In taking this elite group. Okay. Okay, so now let's start on Pasuk Vav. Vahi Bahem Mibnei Yehuda. We'll read the Hebrew, get an idea of what it says in the Hebrew, and then we'll see how they translate it into English, of course, and then we'll see what the commentaries, what we want to take a look at after that. This is Pasuk Vav. It's on page 4 of your Sefer. It's the third line, in the middle of the third line, in the page 4, meaning the third line of where it has the psukim on the top. That clear? Everybody got the place?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Roy
is not being heard.
You can't hear us, Roy? You can hear.
You can hear, but you can't speak.
Okay.
Okay.
Go figure.
All right. So
you're going to the other room with your computer to be closer to your router.
Okay. Okay, so Meir, would you like to start off today's reading? Pasuk Vav, Vahi Bahem.
Okay, so it says, let's see, Vahi Bahem Mibnei Yehuda, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. Okay, so it says, let's see, among them were the children of Judah, and Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see what he says down below here. It says, Mibnei Yehuda, from the children of Yehuda, from the descendants of Hezekiah, king of Judah, by drawing from Hezekiah's descendants, Nebuchadnezzar fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. Oh, and they will always take some of your children who will issue from you, and they shall become officers in the palace of the king of Babylonia. Okay, Rav Elazar said that all of them were from the children of Judah. Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani said that only Daniel was from Judah, but Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah were from other tribes, and that's from Sanhedrin. The cantillation, however, to Rabbi Elazar's view, the Etnachtah, where's the Etnachtah? I guess under, we're in Vav, right? Let's see.
Yehuda.
Yehuda.
Under Yehuda, yes, good. Thank you, Lou. Which serves as a comma or semicolon, is placed under, Bnei Yehuda, from the children of Judah, followed by the four names without differentiation. Four names. Okay. According to Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani, however, the pause should have followed Daniel's name in order to set off his ancestry from that of his three companions.
Right. So you see what's being pointed out over here. Oh, here comes Roy in for a second time around. Roy is coming. A drum roll for Roy.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Welcome, Roy.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so we're glad you were able to find a place that we could hear you from.
Right. I transferred computers, changed the computers.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay, so we are now discussing one of the very interesting notes. It's note 6 on page 5. And he brings a Gemara in Sanhedrin. We're not going to look it up, but we'll just take a look at what it says over here. We'll go over it again. Meir already read it. But the point of this Gemara is, you see a fascinating thing. You see how important the cantillation notes could be, even in interpreting the story of the psukim. Because the Gemara says that we got a machlekes, Amaroyim. Who was these four people? There's one opinion that says all of them were from the royal family. They were all from Yehuda. The other opinion says, no, only Daniel, he was the one from the Zera Melucha, the royal family. The other three, Hanani, Mishael, Azariah, these are the four big, heavyweights over here, I guess you could say, in the story. They were not from Yehuda. So that means they were not from the royal family. So there's a machlekes in the Gemara about this. But they point out over here that if you take a look at the asnachta under the word Yehuda in the pasuk, in pasuk Vav, there's an asnachta under the word Yehuda. What is the significance of that? It has a lot of significance. The significance is that now everybody knows what an asnachta looks like. It's an upside down horseshoe.
I call it a wishbone.
Or a wishbone, you could call it that too.
I call it a wishbone also.
So this asnachta means that there's a resting place over there. Like the word nach. Nach is rest. Noach was he was a restful fellow, Noach. So he brought rest to the Jewish to the mankind with all the different tools, the farming tools that he invented to make it easier to farm. How can you imagine doing farming work without having farming tools? That was very difficult. And Noach made it a lot easier by introducing the inventions that he did. In any case, so the snakta is sort of like a comma in the pasuk. And so if you think about it for a second, if you put the comma, you put the asnachta where it is under Yehuda, so comes out what you're doing is you're saying, and they were from Bnei Yehuda, comma. Who was from Bnei Yehuda? All of them. Then we mentioned Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, all of them. They were all from Yehuda. So according to that, the opinion that says they were all from Yehuda, the snachta is in just the right place. However, if you go according to the other opinion, who's the other opinion? The opinion of Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani. He says, no, only Daniel was from the royal house. The other ones, they was not from the royal house, they were from other shvatim. The Asnachta says otherwise. According to Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani, the Asnachta should have been after underneath the name Daniel, as so to say, they were there was from Zerah Melucha, who there was from Bnei Yehuda, who Daniel, he was from Bnei Yehuda. What about the other ones? Oh, they were from somewhere. They were from other shvatim. The asnachta would have been best put under Daniel. So it's a fascinating insight into the cantillation here, how it affects the reading of the psukim. And by the way, once we're on the name Daniel, I have a very important note. I believe the next notes in the paragraph right before note 7, Daniel. They point out over here, since the Tzeret is under the Yud, the proper pronunciation, according to the way the name is brought in the Tanakh, should be Daniel, like after a famous university. I'm sure that Daniel didn't go there, but that's beside the point. But anyway, Mayor got that because he's from New Jersey. Okay. Right. But we don't. Nobody says Daniel. There's nobody ever says that. Maybe because of the famous university, they don't want to associate Daniel with the famous university. But I don't know what the reason is. But we don't. We just call him Daniel. We don't emphasize the Y over there. Okay. Just an interesting point about the pasuk. Okay, so now we could go on to pasuk Zion. We call upon Lou to continue with pasuk Zion.
Zion. Vayasem lahem sar ha-sarisim shemos vayasem lidaniel beliteshazar v'lachananya shadrach ule Mishael Meshach Vila Azariah Aved Nego. Okay, so let's see. And the chief officer gave them names. To Daniel, he gave the name Belteshazzar. To Hananiah, Shadrach. To Mishael, Meshach. and to Azariah, Abed-Nego. Okay, so the commentary on 7 says, Vayasem lahem sar hasarisim shemos. The chief officer gave them names. It was customary to change the names of people who were elevated to the royal staff. Paro changed Joseph's name to Zaphenath Paneah. Nebuchadnezzar changed Mattaniah's name to Zedekiah. This was done by the chief official at the king's request. It is stated explicitly that the king renamed Daniel.
Oh, we shouldn't think that it was the the Sar Srisim, the chief officer's idea to do this. This was all coming from the top.
It is also possible that since their own names had the name of the one true God suffixed to them, Ka and Kel equal Hashem, they could not be tolerated by Nebuchadnezzar. He therefore substituted names of an idolatrous or secular nature to them.
Wow, isn't that interesting? If you look at all 4 names, all 4 names, the end of the name is the name of Hashem. Either Yud Hey or Aleph Lamed. Both are names of Hashem. So so that's another pshat. It wasn't just the royal operating procedure to change the names of people that had been elevated to the king's family, meaning the Nebuchadnezzar, his royal staff, but because he didn't like these names that the Jews had that mentioned Hashem. Okay.
So I've got a note here with regards to us, saying that Midrash Daniel, I think, deduces from here that since the king gave them these names, Jews may call them by these names, even though they are derived from the names of pagan deities. He goes further to say that we too may give such names, as in Chronicles 3:18 and in Ezra 1:8. I don't know what's in there, but let's see. So,
Oh, you mean it's a source for having a non-Jewish name? That's what he's saying.
yeah, I think so. I don't know. That's what I'm just reading what it says here, that we may give such names. Midrash Daniel.
I guess.
Gaon.
I guess the point is, it's an interesting point that it's obviously not the proof that a goy gave him the name, or even a goyish king, but the proof would be that the psukim recognize the name, and they say they changed the name to the following name. So they're giving official recognition to the fact they changed the name, unless you would say that no, it's not giving credence. It's just saying that it's just that's what they did in order to try to tear them away from their true identity. I don't know, but where is that medrash?
Midrash Daniel.
Midrash Daniel.
Yeah. It doesn't give any more than that. Before that, it's got Rav Saadia on, but I think that's for the previous note about Abednego. he's got here. He changed the Beth to a Gimel, which also is a Babylonian deity.
Very interesting. I would like to look that up if I had a better citation, a more exact one. But okay, just says Medrash Daniel. It doesn't tell me exactly the name of the Medrash. I don't think there's a Medrash Daniel.
Just look it up. I might find some.
Okay.
Belteshazzar, the name of a Babylonian idol, as we see later, whose name is Belteshazzar after the name of my God. Shadrach, Meshach, Aved Nego. These are Aramaic names. The fact that Nebuchadnezzar singled out Daniel to be named after his own God shows that Nebuchadnezzar had a premonition of Daniel's greatness. He must have sensed in Daniel the man of the Spirit, one who was imbued with the great gift of prophecy.
Wow. Also, in addition to that, if you look in the appendix, all the way at the end of the Sefer, it has a under this it's a table over here. I don't know if you could see it. It's like the second page of your appendix, and it lists the names of the kings that were ruling during the exile. And the first one it lists is Nebuchadnezzar, and the second one is Evil-Merodach, and the third one was Belshazzar. So it sounds like there was the same name. That it was the name of the third and the last king of Babel. We're going to see his name appear in Daniel, because I believe he was the one who saw the handwriting on the wall and didn't know what was going on, and Daniel interpreted it for him. So I'm not sure if they had exactly the same name. It looks like they had the same name, but maybe it was like a drop different. You have to know that, be familiar with that language. But they were all given these yeah. Okay, so they were brought, and their names they were given new names. And now we go to the next pasuk. We're up to now pasuk Ches. On page 4 in Sefer Daniel. And we go to Alan to read pasuk Ches.
Mm-hmm. Can't hear you. Alan?
Yeah,
Can't hear you.
fingers are stuck together.
Can everybody else hear me?
What page are we on?
Okay, we're on page 4 in your book.
Actually,
Page Page 4 with where the psukim are, not the introduction. Page 4 where the psukim are.
Right.
There's six lines of psukim on the top of the page, and you want to go to the all the way to the second line from the bottom. Towards the end of that line starts the pasuk V'yosem Daniel.
Okay. Now you're saying to a new Al will be a share low, yes, or L, bus, bag, Amelach, over Yain, Mishtor, Kesh, Bisara, saw receive a share low, yes, L. So starting with 17, right? The 7 Neil, Al would be a share low, Yisko Al, Bafas, Biga Hamelach, over Yain, Mishtor, by Kesh, Bisor, Hasor Risi, Sim, Asher Lo, Yisgoel.
Yeah, read note 8. Daniel set the resolve in his heart. Oh, rather, I'm sorry. Let's translate the pasuk. Read from the other side the translation of the pasuk. Pasuk, verse 8.
Verse 8, okay. And Daniel set the resolve in his heart not to be defiled by the king's food, nor by his drinking wine. So he requested of the chief officer that he not be defiled.
Yeah. So here we got the first issue of these Jewish men, boys. Really, they're boys. I mean, I guess they had their bar mitzvah already, so I'm sure they said in Meir's bar mitzvah of his grandson the other day, he's now a young man.
Right.
So these young men are now beset by the first challenge over here. What are they going to do in regard to the food that they have to eat while they're in the palace of the king?
So for that, cautious was very important.
I heard that that on the Titanic they had a full kosher kitchen with all the amenities of a proper kosher kitchen for I guess the many guests on the boat, on the ship that were shomer kashrus.
Wow.
Yeah. So Alan, you want to read note 8? It looks like a very interesting note on the bottom there where the notes are.
Daniel set resolve in his heart. Daniel, fearing the effects of the food produced by his idolatrous master, sought to avoid eating such food. The Talmud cites a dispute concerning the measures taken by Daniel. Rav said he placed it upon his heart and also decreed it for all Jews. Shmuel said he took it only upon himself, but did not decree it for all Jews.
Wow. Fascinating. Continue, please.
Daniel's voluntary decision to abstain from the delicacies of the king's table was initially not shared by his friends. To Daniel, eating was merely a measure to sustain the body for a higher purpose, the worship of Hashem. For this, the plainest of most simple foods sufficed. There was no need for royal delicacies. However, once Daniel set the example, the others followed suit.
Wow. Okay.
The next note there.
There's more notes. Yeah, you want to read the more notes?
Ashalo is not to be defined. For example, that he not be coerced. God granted Daniel favor and mercy before the chief officer.
No, it's on page 6. The notes on page 6.
Oh,
Continue is on page 6. See where it is? It says the first words of the notes are into defiling himself.
again, my pages got stuck together. What note is it? What note is it?
It's a continuation of note 8 before you get to note 9, and it's on the bottom of page 6. It's the page on the right side of your book.
Bioma? Further down.
Yeah, the notes on the bottom.
Okay.
It says into defiling himself.
Okay. Ibn Ezra Standard's refusal to eat, so the fact that he was being served non-kosher meat, the ones probably from adulterous libations that were very prevalent among the Babylonians. Since the food was forbidden, it would defile Daniel. Number 9.
Okay, we didn't read that pasuk yet. Okay, let's go to pasuk tes. Back to Meir.
Okay, let's see. Tet. It says, Vayiten Elohim et Daniel l'chesed u'lerachamim l'fnei sar hasarisim. Okay, so Hashem gave Daniel favor and mercy before the chief officer. Okay, let's see. Tet. L'chesed u'lerachamim, favor and mercy. Even though the chief officer would not be the one to fulfill Daniel's request, Daniel still needed his mercy, for he had informed Nebuchadnezzar of the request. It might have cost Daniel his life, for his request indicated a brazen refusal to submit to Nebuchadnezzar's authority.
Oh, because we didn't, did we skip something?
Oh, we went to Tet. Except did we skip the wine was probably a dog.
Oh, yeah, no, actually, no, we didn't skip it. I guess we should have done it yesterday. It says over here in note 5, on the bottom of page 4, note 5, it says, Vayman lehem hamelech, the king provided for them. The king gave instructions concerning their diets, and Nebuchadnezzar personally saw to the needs of these children, and they got a daily portion, Devar Yom Biyomo. The king ordered that their diet be monitored daily by his doctors and dietitians, who adjusted the diet to the changing seasons. He wanted to keep them in perfect physical and mental health.
Wow.
So this was a very big priority that Nebuchadnezzar had in providing a very specific type of food. It wasn't just stam. He gave them food. It was part of his plan so that they would be, and it continues over here, that what was the reason why, that because it was all part of a plan that Nebuchadnezzar supplied the youths with 3 things that are conducive to attaining the attainment of excellence in studies, because he wanted them to become proficient in the written language of Babel, and the language and the letters, the script, and all the other things that they were teaching them as well. Many things they were teaching them, and so this was part of the thing. He says he provided them with peace of mind because they didn't have to work, proper food, and an extended period of time for study. They had 3 years. They were given 3 years of this special to be part of this special program of study in order to prepare to be an advisor and a servant of the king.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And here, if Nebuchadnezzar would find out that Daniel was he didn't want to have this food that Nebuchadnezzar was serving him, he would it's a very, very serious matter that would constitute. He says his request indicated a brazen refusal to submit to Nebuchadnezzar's authority. Who knows what he would have done had he known that such a request was made. So Daniel did not request Nebuchadnezzar, but he requested this Sarasrisim. He's the highest official. Sounds like the highest official under Nebuchadnezzar for this request that he's making over here.
Wow.
And it says that Hashem gave a favor, so that I guess what that means is that he didn't tattle on Daniel and say, you know what this Jew asked you for? He doesn't want to eat your food, Your Highness. If he would have said that to Nebuchadnezzar, then you know what Nebuchadnezzar would have tried to do to Daniel.
Right.
Okay. Oh, we're out of time.
Rabbi, that reference I've got here, that Midrash Daniel and Midrash Ezra, commentary on Daniel, Ezra, and Nehemiah by Rabbi Samuel Masnuth, Masnuth, early medieval exegeter, writer, believed to have lived in the 12th and 13th centuries in Jerusalem.
Wow.
That's all I've got. Doesn't seem to help much.
Well, it's not a medrash then. It's just the name of a person who wrote this.
Midrash Ezra, Midrash Daniel. No, it says Midrash Daniel and Midrash Ezra were both commentaries on Daniel and Ezra, and Nehemiah by Rabbi Samuel Masnuth. Samuel Masnuth was his name.
How do you spell the name?
Masnuth. An early medieval exegete.
Wait a second. I don't have a proper pen over here. M-A-S.
Masnuth.
Okay. Samuel
Mm-hmm.
Midrash Daniel.
He was a rabbi, apparently.
Midrash Daniel and Midrash Ezra. Okay, I'll see if I can locate that.
Yeah, believed to have lived in the 12th and 13th centuries. Doesn't say what country.
Okay, very good.
Anyway, that's all I've got.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay.
Right.
So that's what we had today. We had names and food.
Right.
Very good. Okay.
Right then. Thank you. See you soon.
All the best.
Okay.
Mayor, great week.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
week,
you too.
man.
Have a good week. Thank you, Roy.
Let's see, it wasn't 38. It wasn't 38. Let's see.